Welcome back to another Metabolic Debrief. My name is Trevor Folgering, Metabolic Health Specialist for men over 40. Today we're going to be talking about stubborn belly fat after 40 and why it's so hard to lose that stubborn belly fat even after trying diets, exercise, or the shot. And so let's imagine a scenario. You step on the scale and it stays the same, but yet you're gaining belly fat. Why is that? Why is that? That is one of the key questions that we're going to answer today. But before we do, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Just hit that bell button and that notification button and that subscribe button, because every Monday through Friday, we're going to give you amazing metabolic content so that you can become a fat burning machine. All right, so let's jump into it, guys. Let's talk about belly fat. First things first, this is really important. Body composition matters, meaning muscle versus fat, right? And so as we age, what might happen is we might decrease muscle and increase body fat, so the scale stays the same, right? So the goal is to not actually lose weight, right? We've been taught or conditioned to say, oh, I gotta lose weight. I gotta lose 20 pounds. I gotta go on a diet and lose weight. But you don't wanna lose weight. You don't wanna lose muscle. You actually wanna lose your stubborn belly fat. So body composition matters. It matters so much. So we need to make sure that we're protecting our muscle mass. That's the first thing. Now, of course, exercise is part of that equation, but protein or proper nutrition is that second thing. It's probably the more important variable than actual exercise. We want to make sure we're ingesting the proper amounts of fats and proteins every 4 hours. And that is critical because that will help keep our muscle on our body, even if we're not exercising, right? But yes, we do want to exercise so that we increase our very important body compositional muscle mass. That is key. Now, you don't have to be huge like a bodybuilder. That's not the key. The key is just to continue adding a little bit of muscle mass every single year so they're not declining. So you're not reducing muscle mass, you're actually increasing muscle mass. And that's going to obviously improve your fat burning engine. So the more muscle mass you do acquire to some degree, you're going to burn more calories. More calories at rest equals more of a stronger fat burning engine. So that's number one. Number two is that you don't have the same fat burning engine that you did when you're 25, right? If you're 45 or 55 or 65, your body has different energy expenditure needs. Right? And so that's the problem. Most of us think, oh, I'm just going to train like a 25-year-old like I did in the past. I'm going to go to the gym every single day. I'm going to go on a really restrictive diet and I'm going to start losing my belly fat. But it doesn't work that way, right? Instead, we have to come at it a little more intelligently. We got to look at recovery signals. That's the first thing, because you're older, if you're over 40, 50, and 60, recovery is actually more important than training, more important than trying to lose weight. We have to recover. We have to make sure we have good stress management techniques. We have to make sure we're sleeping properly, hydrating properly. And of course, we have teeth for a reason. We got to eat properly as well. So that's the key. We need to make sure that we're not, training like a 25-year-old. We're not eating like a 25-year-old, right? Because we're not. We're different, right? We're 45, 55, 65. Our bodies require different things. All right. Now, the second thing third thing I want to talk about is super important, is that your belly fat isn't the first thing that you probably noticed, right? You probably noticed lower energy levels. You probably noticed sleep was off. You probably noticed your hunger patterns are a little bit different, right? You probably noticed cravings were an issue, right? And so the thing we have to realize is that belly fat is really a symptom of what's happening internally inside your body, right? So it's something that we may see visually, but internally you've noticed a lot of different things, haven't you? Right? You've noticed your sleep is a little bit off. You notice like your energy levels are lower. You feel tired at like 3 p.m. You go get home and you're like exhausted and you can't play with your grandkids, or you don't feel good, right? And so we need to look at those things first, right? If we fix the underlying symptoms or the signals, our body will start to lose body fat more efficiently. And that is the key, right? So we don't need to step on the scale to understand that, because their scale doesn't really tell you internally what's happening metabolically, right? We can't see what's happening metabolically inside our body, right? If we look in the mirror, we don't see internally what's happening, right? We have to look at our metabolic signals, which is hunger, cravings, sleep, recovery signals, and fasting glucose levels. We have to look at those, guys, because if we don't, then we're just flying blind. We are just flying blind, and we want to make sure that first off, that we are first looking at our metabolic signals first. All right, so that is super important. All right, so guys, in our metabolic operating system, what we do is we actually check your metabolic signals 3 times per week so that you can lose body fat really efficiently and really quickly. All right, and that really is the key when it comes to losing body fat, is looking at internally what happens inside your body. not actually looking at the scale. So if you've got belly fat, stubborn belly fat, and you're not actually understanding how to actually get rid of it, and you're stepping on the scale and you're feeling frustrated, then what I want you to do, super easy guys, is to join our 15-day metabolic reset. Just underneath this video, you can join. You just click the link, and that's going to get you access to 15 days of one-on-one coaching. So you and I will be able to go and fix your metabolism so you can actually start to lose body fat more efficiently. So make sure to click the link just underneath there, and don't worry right now about the scale. That's the last thing you want to do. Don't step on the scale and be like, oh my God, it's not changing, right? No, we don't want to actually rely on the scale. Instead, what we want to do is look at how your body is responding to your metabolic signals, because your body is always communicating with you, all right? We've got to read your metabolic signals, and then we can start making changes to your nutrition, your hydration, your sleep, everything else. Okay, so make sure to click the link underneath here for your 15-day metabolic reset so you can lose body fat efficiently. My name is Trevor Folgering, metabolic health specialist for men over 40, and let's continue to rebuild your metabolism. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.